Grayson Allen just needs to stop deferring.
He just needs to shoot.
He just needs to keep shooting. The days of Grayson Allen taking 4 to 7 shots in a game need to fucking go away because he's just as good a shooter as anybody else out there on the court. He's a good facilitator. He makes smart choices, and he can shoot the three like nobody else. Let's go, Grayson Allen. Give him the ball.
Said in the pregame show, with all of the injuries that we had to deal with today, with KD being out, Eric Gordon being out, Nasir Little being out, somebody had to step up and be that other guy, not named Devin Booker or Bradley Beal, and come to play. And Grayson Allen did just that.
He did. He started off saying like big three. What big fucking three? I'm the big three. He's like, I'm him.
Just like we thought, the Kevin Durant replacement is Grayson Allen. He's leading all scorers tonight. I mean, that was one of my favorite performances I've seen in a while. It was just fun to watch him go off for those 7 threes in that first game.
He's led the Suns in scoring 2 out of the last, I think, 4 or 5 games, one of those 2. Grayson Allen just needs to stop deferring.
He just needs to shoot.
He just needs to keep shooting. The days of Grayson Allen taking 4 to 7 shots in a game need to fucking go away because he's just as good a shooter as anybody else out there on the court. He's a good facilitator. He makes smart choices, and he can shoot the three like nobody else. Let's go, Grayson Allen. Give him the ball.
Well, we talked about it on the watch along, but you and Flex had said Grayson Allen and Eric Gordon need to combine for at least 20 shots in a game, and I joked, oh, well, without Eric Gordon out there, you think Grayson will get 20. He had 19 shots tonight.
He was real close.
He had 19 attempts, hit 11 of them. It was pretty great.
Yeah, and this is the 3rd time, I believe, this season that Grayson Allen has had 7 or more threes in a game. He tied his career high of 8 threes midway through the 3rd quarter, and that, like I said, that's the 3rd time this season. Actually, it's 8 threes, not 7 threes. It's the 3rd time this season that he's had 8 threes. Mm-hmm. And then he tied. I'm not.
I tried,
but I didn't. Then he ties the single game record for the Suns, which is 9 made threes with 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game. Then they took him out for a little bit, which I'm like, just let him finish the game and just give him the ball only. Only let Grayson shoot.
I'm irritated with Devin Booker, and I'm irritated with Yusuf Nurkic because in the 3rd quarter, there were 2 opportunities to get him the ball wide open, and they just,
Yeah.
They opted for other plays, and they didn't work out.
Look, I don't blame Devin. I think he saw a white guy in the corner when he threw it to Drew Eubanks, thinking
No. Early in the 3rd quarter.
Oh,
when he threw the lob, that got intercepted.
That's
true. Yeah, to KBD?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's not the play. He's wide open right there.
The Eubanks one works at least because he made it. Right?
Yeah.
But the one that you're talking about, Saul, in the 3rd quarter, it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's wide open.
And he's hot.
Yeah.
Why would you look him off?
100%.
Right.
I was majorly bummed in that one.
So he ties the Suns' all-time record for single games in a 3. Or single threes in a game. Do you know who the only guy to do it in a loss was? You're going to like this one, Saul.
Oh, Landry Shamet.
Yes.
Oh, I was like,
The guys who have done it in a game, Grayson Allen now, Landry Shamet, Cam Johnson, Aaron Baines, Channing Frye, and Jason Richardson.
Okay.
You're damn right, Ted. You're damn right. I did. I absolutely did.
Comment.
Said Saul wanted Grayson to hit the 10th to erase Shamet from the record book.
So Grayson has now 3 of the top 8 best 3-point shooting performances by a Sun in a single game.
How many games have we played so far?
What are they?
How many have we played
so far? A little over 30.
That's pretty good.
I have no idea.
I don't know what the stats are, but that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Honestly, I mean, it was a great game by Grayson Allen. I am super bummed that he didn't get that record for himself. But what he can hang his hat on tonight is that he is our big, bright, shiny star.
Big, bright, shining star.
He finished with 31 points, 4 assists. He was 9 of 14 from deep.
We don't need to put the shades on him.
Shout out to Grayson
Makes him look like a narc.
He was too bright. He had to have him on. The Reds burn.
He's the sun.
It's
He's
terrible.
too hot.
It's too hot to handle.
But he was so hot that Damian Lee, during the post-game interview, decided he had to douse him with water bottles. It was great.
That was cute, though.
It was.
That was cute.
I love it. They're having fun.
Yeah. All right, we do have a couple super chats here that I want to get to because a lot of them are about Grayson Allen. Psycho Blue sent us one. Thank you, Psycho Blue. They said, Basketball Cthulhu is pleased with Judas Shuttlesworth. The referees are unjust against our 7-foot acolytes, and Kellen Olson is on a curse watch for his Beal tweet. I think that was probably about the limp for Bradley Beal. Is that what he's talking about?
I'd imagine so.
I'm guessing that's what that one's about. Trevor sent us one. Thank you, Trevor. They say, yeah, Grayson not getting traded. He's been money.
Yes.
Or his trade value has never been higher.
Yeah.
It could be
Kidding.
I mean, listen, it could go one of two ways, and either one wouldn't surprise me. Like, Grayson is so good for this team, but he's also super valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get both sides. And it sucks.
Alfredo Alcala said Grayson went from most punchable white guy to most lovable and reliable big three. And let me say this. At the very beginning of the season, I said that Grayson was going to win a lot of people over because he's a good player. It's just the stupid little antics and the cheap shots that he was taking at guys throughout his career. It labeled him as a bad guy, basically. But if he's on your team, you're going to love him. And sure enough, look at every single person out there that was like, oh, I wish I could go back to that day when we traded for Grayson Allen and screenshotted all the hate that my man was getting. Didn't deserve it.
To his credit, though, he talked about how he's matured, right?
He did.
And we haven't seen any of those antics this year.
We have not.
So I give him credit.
And I think it's fair to feel that way because the reputation that he came in with was not a good one.
No, look.
So I get it. I'm not blaming anybody for that.
I blame them because he's our asshole. The second he gets in a Suns uniform, I don't care what he's done. He's our asshole now.
You're a liar. I don't think you would feel the same way about like a Pat Bev
or
a Draymond.
They'd be our asshole.
I don't think you would.
Draymond might be a little bit.
Maybe not Draymond at this point.
Because you don't know what Draymond's doing behind the scenes, punching dudes and shit.
Right.
By the way, Lucky Dab asks, Espo, you're the uniform goat. What shoes did Book have on today? It looked like a new colorway. No, it was the orange colorway of the Book one.
That was one of the first ones that we got.
Priscilla, I take offense to that. That is not the only player I've been right on. I've been on the Beal train too. It's just everybody keeps doubting him because he's always hurt. But Beal, I said, was going to be phenomenal, and he was today.
You got to read the comments, Saul.
Grayson is the only player Saul has been right about all season.
Yeah, you've been on the Beal train, but he's been in an infirmary on that train for most of the year, so...
Okay.
Well, but he's good when he's out there. Before we talk about Beal, I do want to talk a little bit more about Grayson Allen. There's two comments in the chat that I want to specifically highlight. Bobby said, I know tonight was about his threes, but his defense is what puts him over the top. I did not expect to like him so much. And then we got another one from Jose, and they said, his defense has gotten better as well. He has a high IQ. And I think that's something we can't overlook with Grayson Allen. Is he the best defender? No, of course not. But he's solid and he puts in effort majority of the time. And I think that's something that's really important too. When you look at what he's capable of doing offensively, he's no chump defensively either.
No, I'd argue he's the hardest working guy out there on defense, putting forth the most effort in terms of effort compared to skill. And defense is so much about effort and energy, and Grayson has done such a great job of putting that in this year. So it does make it a lot easier to root for him because you were told, is he going to be the best defender you have? No, but he's gone out there and he's worked his ass off, and I appreciate that.
I mean, he's a good defender. He's a good defender. He's not a great defender. He's not an elite defender. He's a good defender. And he's a good defender because he understands where he needs to be most of the time. Now, one-on-one, guys are going to get the best of him from time to time for sure. But in terms of the team concept and chemistry and making sure that you're in position all the time, Grayson is usually always where he's supposed to be, which is good. And that's what keeps him on the floor, because on the offensive side, when he gets his opportunities, he comes through. So, again, Grayson is, for as much shrapnel as JJ gets on a lot of these deals and stuff like that, getting Grayson Allen is proving to be one of the most shrewd moves of any move this offseason by an executive, because Grayson Allen is by far been. I mean, you could argue Grayson Allen has been the most important player, not outside of the big three this season.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Maybe Nurk.
Yeah, but even he hasn't been as consistent as Grayson.
Yeah, but I suppose. Well, I don't know.
The highs
they both have stretches, and then they've both had a couple games where it's like, where'd you go?
True, but the difference
I think you could make an argument for both.
The difference is with Grayson, he does so many things at a really great level that there's not really a drop off in terms of what you're going to get. Like he hasn't had a game where he turns the ball over 5 or 6 times, right? He hasn't had a game where he's fouled out. He hasn't had a game where he's just played sloppy basketball. He might not have gotten as much shots as the other guys, but he has played fairly well in just about every single game. So that's why I would say that about him.
I think his highs have been higher than
yes.
right?
By far.
I mean, they both had some.
Except for that Nuggets game, that was pretty impressive for Nuggets.
Yeah, but I still think.
But Grayson has had multiple.
Yeah, I feel like they both had some inconsistent moments where they don't have as big of games, but Grayson's highs have been much higher. I was shocked. I just realized this. Not only did he have the 31 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, he had 2 blocks, which is it speaks again to that hustle on the defensive end.